intolerant as any of the friggin' nations on earth. We can't go to these nations, any of these, these M nations, that where this particular religion rules these nations and all the rest, because that's where most of these people are coming from anyway, that they're doing all this crap, and just be whatever way we want to be. We have to respect their idiotic rules and regulations and cultural norms and all the rest, but even if we don't see that as wise or sensible or it's humane or whatever, we still have to respect their wishes when we go to their countries, but they can come to our countries and not respect anything. And I see it over and over. I'm experiencing it over and over and over again whenever I, like myself, joining my voice with the growing number of voices out there that are saying the same thing, whenever I start expressing these things, oh, you're so bigoted, you're so intolerant, it's like what kind of person are you? Like you need to smarten up, you need to be more accepting, you need to be more understanding. No, guys, I don't need to be understanding. When my nation is being overrun and my culture is being overrun and everything that we tried to create over the past 200 odd years or more sort of thing is being gradually dismantled right before my very friggin' eyes, and the people that are coming here are showing zero respect for the long-standing residents here and citizens and people of the nations that came here 100 years ago, 200 years ago, and created all this to begin with sort of thing. And these people are coming in, they got no respect for any of that sort of thing, and they want to dismantle the whole fucking works. No, I don't have to be accepting of that. No. And I'm not the least bit freaking bigoted for wanting to be someone that shows some care and concern for these things sort of thing, So, so we have it here in Newfoundland, we have it here in St. John's. I see the people from every place around the world, I think, here in St. John's now. A variety of people that I never thought I would ever see in my lifetime. But I had to keep asking myself, when they come here, what is their understanding of this nation? What is their understanding of this province? Do they have any interest or desire or willingness to assimilate and to contribute to and make this place a better place and not a worse place? Or do they just want to come here and just carry on the same old ways to carry on their home countries, whether it's wise or not, and whether it goes against our rules, our laws, or whatever or not, and care less about it sort of thing? I don't know. I'm not the one that's in involved with government and the immigration agencies and all the rest of it that has any saying in this sort of stuff. I'm just an average old Joe that's trying to live his life the best way he knows how, and it's just watching all this taking shape in front of me sort of thing, And so all I can do is to say to people, like, if you come here, it's like respect our ways, it's like respect our laws. Don't push your laws. Don't push things in on our country for the sake of multiculturalism that's going to destroy the very fabric of what has created the nation and keeps the nation together in the process sort of thing. If you're coming here because you see something great about the nation already the way it is sort of thing, well, work with us and fight with us to preserve that sort of thing. We've got good laws here in Canada right now. I mean, I'm not saying our legal system couldn't be improved more sort of thing, but we got good laws in this nation that protect everybody sort of thing. We don't want that dismantled. We've got freedom of thought and expression and religion for everybody right across the board, evenly, guys. So like that means that no one religion can come in and take over and suppress other religions and other belief systems and other ways of thinking and all the rest of it, because we have the mechanism set up in our nation to protect everybody equally sort of thing. So if you're going to come here and you're going to push your ways and you're going to push your ideas and you're going to push your belief systems on us at the expense of us and at the expense of everyone else, couldn't get through the video now, please, but one or two motorcycles go by. Then I got the window open now too, so right here what I'm saying, I'm not going to worry about it anymore. Then don't come here. Don't come here. I mean, just stay away. I mean, just basically, and more of us that are developing this attitude are saying the same thing. Those of us that classify ourselves as patriots of the nations and so on there, if you're going to come to our nations with that kind of mentality, then don't come here to begin with. We don't want you here. I don't want you here. Like any sane, sensible person that cares about their nation and preserving their nation and preserving the structure of their nation and all the rest, and not wanting to see it completely fall apart, don't want you here if that's the kind of mentality that you want to push on us sort of thing. Any more than you would want it in your nation sort of thing. You're coming here, we're not going there sort of thing, so you're coming here for some reason. So respect the way the nations are always set up, or don't come here to begin with sort of thing, guys. So I mean, so that's how this ties in. to Canada Day. What I was hoping, what I'm still hoping, was being thought a lot about. So I can only imagine now how the official celebrations went through last week, and we're this wonderful accepting nation, we got all this multiculturalism, and this is what represents Canada and all the rest of us starting, and blah 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 blah. Yes, to a certain degree, guys, to a certain degree, but you got to be again, you got to think that through and understand what it means to be a multicultural nation, sort of thing. It doesn't mean for the sake of every single culture and society, belief system, and whatever that comes into your nation, that you have to totally dismantle everything that the nation was founded on to begin with, sort of thing. You know, the idea of proper multiculturalism is that you come here and you add to what already exists there. So you don't dismantle what already exists. You add to and try to better what already exists. That should be the overall mentality. So if there's something within your culture, your belief system, your ways of doing things or whatever that you think could add to, and you had to be able to demonstrate that in some way, then bring it here and add to it or whatever, and this strengthen this mosaic, this Canadian mosaic, that we should still be trying to develop here, sort of thing. But don't come here trying to take over, and create a whole completely different type of nation that already exists, because we don't want that. Those of us that have been there for several hundred years now, and I gotta say to my First Nations brothers and sisters as well, 42 minutes in there now, guys. I want to get 50 odd minutes this time here, guys, so I can't go past the 50 odd minutes. I want to say to my First Nations, Indigenous brothers and sisters on that, because there's been a lot of talk now in the past 2 or 3 years or so about how we should not be opening our mouths about the immigration issues with our nation, so in particular in the United States, here in Canada and all the rest of it. For those of us that came here from Europe, our ancestors that came here to Europe and took over the entire continent and pushed all the First Nations people, Indigenous people to one side, we took over their lands and all the rest of it, like they're saying that who gives you the friggin' right to complain at this point? Look what you did to us. Now you're here saying that these other people can't come in and do the very same thing to you, sort of thing. It's like we couldn't care less about your perspective or whatever, sort of, But that's a tough one, guys. That's a tough one for me to know, because I understand where you come from. I actually agree with where you are coming from that perspective. But at the same time, guys, this has been like a 500 odd year experiment now, where we have all of us have gone through a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of heartache. Those of us that come from European societies, we have to come to grips with what our forefathers, our ancestors did to your ancestors, and come clean about it and try to, we can't undo 500 years of damage that's been done to the First Nations people and the Indigenous people. We can't undo that. And certain things that are irreversible now. So all we can do at this stage in the game, guys, is to try to redo what's already been done and try to make the best out of a less than favorable situation for everybody concerned, sort of thing. So First Nations people, I want to say this message to you, that Indigenous people and all the rest of it, we have elements coming into North America right now that they have no respect for you either. Okay, they have no any more than our ancestors did, our forefathers. The British, the French, whoever, sort of thing, Portuguese, Irish, Scottish, or whatever the case might be, but particularly the French and the English, sort of thing. This element has zero respect for anybody or anything, sort of thing, So they're pushing their way in. They're trying to take over. They're trying to take over everything, guys. It's not the Judeo-Christian foundation that the United States was built on, Canada was built on, Europe was built on, the Western Road was built on. It's not just that alone. It's absolutely every single solitary thing that isn't a part of their belief system and their structure. They're trying to destroy it all. So that includes you as well. That includes your belief systems and your what's important to you, culture, and all the rest of it as well. Because if this system takes over, you're not going to benefit either, sort of thing. So I mean, even though I understand you had this issue with us, with white people that came from Europe, came from France and Britain and so on, that they came here and took over and did what we did and all the rest of it. And it's like, I can only say that I'm so sorry that had to play out that way, sort of thing, But now we're entering into a new chapter still that is working to dismantle that and further dismantle your cultures as well. At least now here in Canada, we're starting to make some steps now to address the things that were done wrong to First Nations people by our forefathers, sort of thing. And I hope we can continue on that path and continue to try to work something out and all the rest of it and create a system that benefits everybody. But as we're trying to do that now, there are other elements coming in that are trying to undo what we've created with our Judeo-Christian history and heritage and all the rest of it, along with destroying your cultures as well, because they will want you to submit to their way of thinking, their belief system, their religious belief system. They don't care about your connection with the earth and all the rest of it, sort of thing, your respect for nature, Mother Nature and all the rest of it, and your ancient ways of doing things. They don't care about that at all, guys. To them, you're pagans, you're infidels, you're people to be taken over, controlled, suppressed, dominated, and converted to their way of thinking, or else, if not, then just eliminated. So it is in your best interest as well to come on side with us to help fight a mutual enemy that's coming here seeking to destroy all of us. That's the only thing I can say there, guys. Like, for now, we have to put these ancient, these historic differences to one side for the time being, while we all need to come together to face an enemy that's seeking to bring the entire nation down, to bring down the whole of North American society, to bring down the whole of Western society in general. So it's this woke madness that I don't know what it is, because it's not logical. Or they just want to tear everything down, and they're not explaining what's going to be replaced in place of it, sort of thing. And so it's mixing with all this religious extremism that's stripping away all of the rights that we've already tried to establish for everybody in the nation. Like, we can see it manifesting, like those of us that have eyes to see it and actually thinking about what's happening around us, sort of thing. We can see it as plain as day of what's trying to be done with us, sort of thing. Every last one of these freaking treasonous governments should be put in jail, should be locked up, should be like, there was a time when these people would probably, their lives would have been taken for being such treasonous people to their nations and their peoples and all the rest of it, sort of thing. But yet, all throughout Europe, in the States, here in Canada, all throughout the Western world, they're getting away with these insane, utterly irresponsible policies that are completely dismantling the cultures and societies that they're in charge, to uphold, to protect, to try to preserve for well into the future, sort of thing. They're doing the complete opposite. We're seeing in Britain right now the prime example of that, of a government and a head of state that is actively working to try to completely dismantle the whole British culture, the whole British nation, British society, like dismantle the whole friggin' works, destroy the whole friggin' works. It certainly seems like it, and to allow another culture, religion, society, belief system, law system and everything to supplant what was there before, sort of thing. We're seeing the worst of it in Britain right now, but what's happening in Britain is steadily moving into North America and moving throughout the rest of Europe as well, sort of thing. So within less than a decade or so, we're going to be facing all the same things all throughout the Western world. If we don't open up our bloody freaking eyes right now and actually see, and stop being afraid to speak up and being worried about concerns of being bigoted and intolerant and all the rest of that sort of thing. Now, there comes a point, guys, where you have to ignore stupid, senseless, brainless claims of that nature. People say that if someone's going to label you as a bigot, then they have to explain how they see you as being a bigot. Okay? Like, if they can't do that, if they can't give a rationale for their perspective, sort of thing, then bloody ignore it. Because there is no rationale. Apparently, it's just a mindless, senseless agenda that's been set up to destroy everything and replace it. But we don't even know what wanting to replace it with, because they don't know themselves, sort of thing. So I mean, I'm talking about a minute here, guys, but that's basically, I mean, it's it's like this is such an important message, and I'm beyond pissed off that more people aren't viewing my videos, particularly talking about this sort of stuff, and coming online with me and supporting me, sort of thing. Me and everybody like me, because I'm trying to encourage more people to speak up and do the same sort of thing, and form groups and agencies and organizations and so on that we start fighting back against all this sort of stuff, So again, like I said, we need to think about who we are as people, who we want to be as a people. I still support multiculturalism for the most part, but I support it the right way. Okay, I don't support an irresponsible form of multiculturalism that says that everything that came before it should be dismantled and destroyed when there's no good justifiable reason for it. Sort of, I'm gonna have to do it off right now, guys. Yeah, so that's it. So I mean, so I don't support that sort of thing, and no sane, sensible person should support that sort of thing, guys. So now I've only got a few seconds left, guys. I'm gonna cut this off right now. This is my last video now about this sort of stuff. Not the last video talking about these issues sort of thing, but connected with Canada today. This is it now, guys. So this is why I got myself done up like this sort of thing. So continue to think about this sort of stuff, guys, and like this is about the very nature and fabric and framework of the nation itself. It's vitally important. We should all have an interest in it. We should all be talking about it, and we should be working to try to make this nation and the whole of the Western world really a beautiful place for everybody, where everybody's safe, secure, have their basic inalienable rights and all the rest of it. That should never ever change, guys. Okay, and we'll take care. God bless, and for now, bye bye.